Hello and welcome to part 1 of the Pokemon Black walkthrough recorded for PokemonDungeon.net. This is Kyberian and today we'll take you through the very first part of the game, which will include getting your very first Pokemon, having your very first 2 battles, and going all the way up to the very first city. Exciting. And so, we've chosen the male character, and we are going to use the confirmed name for the male protagonist, which is Hilbert. It's a weird name if you ask me, but I didn't make it up. And so, after you confirm the name, she will introduce you to our 2 rivals, Bianca and Sharon, who are very prominent throughout the story, and you will battle them quite often. And so, after Professor Juniper gives us a little introduction to the world of Pokemon, we get a glimpse of Nuvema Town from above. And Professor Juniper is entering our house right in the middle of Nuvema Town, and she exits and the game zooms in on our window so we can see just what happened. And she's left us a surprise. Awesome. It's our very first Pokemon. And Bianca will walk in, late as always. And now is the time that you've all been waiting for. We get to pick our very first Pokemon from the Unova region. As we open the box, you will notice that, as per tradition, there is a grass type, Snivy, water type, Oshawott, and fire type, Tepig. For this walkthrough, we're going to be choosing Tepig, and Bianca will step in, choosing her own Pokemon, which happens to be Snivy, leaving Sharon to grab your weakness, Oshawott. Bianca will right away challenge you to a battle, right in the middle of your room. Does not sound like a very good idea. And so, as the battle begins, Bianca sends out her only Pokemon, Snivy, which will be followed by us sending out Tepig. The battle should be relatively easy, being the very first in the game. And we're going to lead off with a Tail Whip, which will lower the foe's defense, allowing our tackle to do a lot more damage than normal. And basically, we're just going to keep spamming tackle here for a little bit. Very good strategy, as the computer characters aren't very smart. Really, he just used the leer when he's about dead. One more hit will do him in. So, as you can see, that battle was pretty easy. We gained 43 experience points and 500 Poke. And we've almost leveled up our Tepig already. And so, we look around our room and notice that everything was completely destroyed, all thanks to Bianca and her mindlessness. Sharon will step in and restore both of our Pokemon to full health after that brutally tough battle that we just had with Bianca. And then, Sharon will challenge us to a battle, which will set our second battle ever in Pokemon Black. And, as I said, Sharon will be sending out Oshawott, which is a water type, which, as you can probably guess, fire is not very good against. Thankfully, there are no typed moves yet, so we're just going to lead off with a Tail Whip, same as last game, and spam tackle a couple times. We're even faster than Oshawott in this battle, which means it'll be no problem at all. So, like I said, Spamming tackle a couple of times will probably lead to a very unintelligent move by your opponent. Tail Whip? Seriously. And finally, we'll grow to level 6 from all that experience from that battle, and we'll get another 500 Poke, which can be used at any Pokemart located inside of the Pokemon Centers, throughout just about each and every town in the game. And now, we can go down and see what Sharon and Bianca are up to. They are talking with our mom, apologizing for the mess, the ruckus, and how they ruined everything in your room. Sharon says that he's going to be going to the Pokemon lab to go see Professor Juniper, who will give us another introduction to our journey. Bianca has to go home, and our mom will walk up to us and heal our Pokemon, much needed as there are no Pokemon centers at all in Nuvema Town. And then she will give us our X-Transceiver, which we can use to call other players throughout the game, except you'll just be called all of the time. And now, stepping out into the sunshiny day with Pidove flying all around, we follow Bianca down to her house in the southwest part of Nuvema Town. And you see Bianca arguing with her father about going about on a Pokemon journey. She says everything's okay and heads off to the Pokemon lab anyway. Which is where we'll be going next. Sharon and Bianca are waiting out front for us. What a good friend. And we enter the Pokemon lab together. Professor Juniper will introduce herself for the formality of the situation before she is rudely interrupted by Sharon. She'll introduce herself and how she is a professor and notices that your Pokemon have already begun to bond to you because you've already had 2 battles. And she'll ask us to complete the Pokédex, which is traditional in all Pokemon games. It's our mission to travel across the Unova region and document every single Pokemon that we encounter. And after receiving the Pokédex, Professor Juniper will offer to meet you on Route 1 to show you how to catch Pokemon, which will add even more information than simply encountering them to your Pokédex. And so we exit, and our mom is once more waiting for us outside. She will come up to us and give us town map. If you ever get lost along the way or need to know where a town was to do some backtracking, these town maps will surely come in handy. You can find them in the bag under all of the key items. You may use it at any time. And so we're finally ready to leave our hometown of Nuvema and start our Pokemon journey. Heading out with Sharon and Bianca on Route 1, she'll say that they all want to start their journey together with the same first step. And so we officially enter Route 1, and there Professor Juniper is waiting for us. She is going to explain to us how to capture a Pokemon. So let's watch this small cinematic and she'll tell us how it's done. Of course, you're gonna want to lower your enemy's health. The lower the health is on your enemy, the more chance you have of capturing the Pokemon you are up against. Stat effects also affect the catch rate of the Pokemon. If you paralyze a Pokemon, you are much more likely to capture it than if it was awake and bustling, ready to battle. When the Pokemon is on low health and you feel you have a good chance of capturing it, you may throw a Pokeball or any of the Pokeball's variations to capture the Pokemon. Its data will be added to the Pokedex and you will be given the option to nickname it. And so, Professor Juniper will give us 5 Pokeballs to start out our own journey of capturing and documenting Pokemon. She will head up to Nuvema Town, which is where we will be headed with our friends next. And so, our friends will propose a little game. She is going to see who can capture the most Pokemon. So, you know what you've got to do. Utilize those Pokeballs, everyone. Get ready for capturing some Pokemon. Now, for this walkthrough, we'll be skipping all of the wild Pokemon battles, which is probably why you'll hear a little skip in the music every now and then. Talk to this girl in the grass patch on the right, and she'll give you a potion. And as we continue up Route 1, which is a very short path, by the way, we'll notice our friends are sitting there waiting for us. Bianca will compare how much Pokemon she has with the rest of them. We had 3 in this case, which is apparently amazing. The X-Transceiver will ring and Professor Juniper is on the other line. She wants us to meet her at the Pokemon Center, which is where we will go in the next part of our Pokemon Black walkthrough.